Part of like the anormality thing with my fans is that anormality is like, it's not a real word, by the way. People always tell me that, and they're like, normal's not a real word, right? Yes, I know normal's not a real word.
I like it too. It works. It works.
That was just the first time I heard anormality. That's my shit.
I know. I was like, what did she just say?
But like the idea for me behind it, at least when I put my input in, was like,
hey everybody, welcome back to Convo Series. I am your host RJ, aka Reg Travels.
And I am Trevin Reiser, a.k.a. The Chosen One, back again, once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say good morning if you're watching this in the morning, and good evening if you're watching this in the motherfucking evening.
I got to start adding some stuff to mine, dude. you got like 3 phrases now.
I like to address people that are listening like they're here, you know what I mean?
All right.
It's more personal. And I appreciate everybody who shows back up to this every week. So it's like,
we do appreciate all of you.
It's a real
listeners.
experience. And I just wanted to, greet them as if they had just showed up. Like if it's morning, good morning. Welcome.
What about the people who listen to it at night, like the overnight workers?
That's why I said good evening if you're listening to this in the evening.
It's not evening, that's night, Trevin.
Well, good night. Well, that's weird.
I know, right? I was
if
wondering.
If you're opening your night with this, then I'm not going to tell you good night. You know what I mean? Have a wonderful night.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I was just wondering how you were going to handle that.
I've been going on a little too long. But we have a special guest in studio with us today.
We do.
If you're watching the YouTube video, you can see him right now. He is a friend of the show, a friend of mine, friend of ours.
Nice.
He was... What am I trying to say was, but he is the engineer, producer for artist Young Slipup, who we had here a few weeks ago.
Shouts out to Slipup.
Shouts out. Just super dope, talented musician, and we'd like to welcome to the show.
Yes, everyone, welcome, Prod.Trotter.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
There's an audience. You can't hear it right now, but there's an audience.
Oh, okay.
We'll hear them later.
Yeah, for sure.
The headphones are noise canceling.
I hear them. I'm not wearing headphones today.
But welcome. Yeah, we talked about doing this since Slipup was on the show.
For sure.
Yeah. And kind of had the idea even before that. We've always been, kind of fans of yours. And
I appreciate that, bro. It's super good to be on here.
Hell yeah, dope ass beats, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'm telling you. The amount of times you made me just bob my head in the car, like, and where I work, I be trying to stunt, okay? Because I got a pretty decent car, and I got like Bose throughout my, I got the Bose system, right? On. So your beats, I'm telling you, man, I'll just put them on, listen to some Young Slipup, and then just ride slow out as I leave work.
It's always crazy to me to hear that like people actually fuck with something that I came up with in my head. I don't know. I've always just been like a very self-conscious person, worried about what people think as far as my art goes. I never felt like the shit I made was good enough. So like when I go to Slip-Up shows or I see people like DMing me appreciating what I do, saying like I love your music, it's always crazy to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, I made that and people enjoy it.
It's weird. It's definitely
a crazy feeling.
That's what India Ari says. Shouts out. She says, I'm an artist. And I'm sensitive about my shit. I'm sorry. That was Erykah Badu. So shouts out to Erykah Badu
Shouts
too.
out.
She said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Yeah.
I think India Ari just got it proposed to or something like that. That's why she's in my mind.
We've just recently started having people like reach out to us that want to be on.
Yeah.
It's usually us acquiring the guests. And now that we've been doing it for like, we're still not, huge. I'm not bragging. But like recently people have, said, hey, I've seen your show and I want to be on the show.
Right.
I'm like, wow, really?
It's a crazy feeling.
You like don't expect it. You're like, people like actually listen.
It feels like you finally like made something of it, where people are like, wow, I want to listen to this.
So which is dope, huh?
I remember when I first started making music.
Let's get into that.
With Slipup, it was either Slipup or one of our other homies at the time. I was talking to him. I was like, yo, bro, if we try hard on this shit, if we make a great song, we can probably get like 100 views. Like, that was my mindset.
Yeah.
And I remember.
I feel you. We feel you.
That's big.
If we do it really well, we could get 100
real shit. Like, honestly, to me, it almost seemed like getting that first couple hundred was harder than getting 1,000 or thousands. Because, like, you don't got the skill yet. You don't know how to drop music. You don't know how to market. Then I feel like as time goes on, it just gets easier and easier and more natural. But when you first start out, it's rough, bro. I bet you guys have experienced the same thing.
Huh.
Musically, or
Well,
I'm talking about
musically for
podcasts.
me,
the
but
podcast, yeah, 100%. But in all areas of creativity that we have our hands in, it's like, it's always, it's a slow process. And if you try to just like do too much too quick, you know what I mean? It's not.
it doesn't work. You gotta learn.
Yeah, it's not. What's the word?
You ever heard
There's no longevity in it.
You ever heard the quote? I forget who said it, but it's to be a master at anything, you have to put 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, that's crap. What's his name?
Who is it?
Oh, there's a book about it too.
It's probably somebody we all should know, and I know the quote, but I probably have never.
Yeah, everyone's heard that.
Robert Greene maybe has one called Mastery, but it's based off of the 10,000 hours thing. But I have heard about that.
Like, everyone wants to be great when they first start at something. Who doesn't want to be great? But it's like, it's not the way it works.
That's why I tell everybody, like, when you go and look at our shit, like, everybody uses the excuse, well, I need a camera, I need a microphone, I need a computer, and even me, when I started out, like, I wanted to start out, like, pretty established, but that doesn't happen. So you're going to go on to the Convo Series YouTube and scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see us sitting on a couch filming with an iPhone.
Yeah.
No mics.
And like,
sorry, go ahead.
It can also be discouraging because, like, there's some people we know that just because of, like, their popularity, like, this was back when I was in high school, their popularity at the time, they make a song and they put it out, and they have so many friends that it's getting 1,000 views, 2,000 views instantly. But they're friends listening. They're not people that appreciate you for your music. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So when you get out of high school, you still don't got the fan base. You know what I mean? Your views drop. People forget about each other.
Makes sense.
So it's like, it's better in my perspective to get that slow start, build up, get your talent, build a natural, organic fan base that appreciate you for the art you're making and the connection they have with you, than to just have people that like you for different reasons, social reasons, to fuck with what you make.
Exactly. Like, I've always said, no matter how many people listen to the show, it could be 5 or 500, but no matter what that number is in between, it's going to be a reason for me to do it every week. I love coming in here, and it's my place to come in and say what's on my mind, but it's also it's grown into something bigger than that too.
Yeah, for sure.
But either way, like, that's what it's about. And it's about the art and connecting with the people who consume the art.
Yeah, and on that note, I'd like to say I appreciate all our listeners and watchers and subscribers and all you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good morning and good evening.
Yeah.
And good night.
Music for me, though, it's just crazy. Like, to me, like, I love our fans, obviously, but even if I wasn't posting my music, I'd still be making it. Music for me, and if we want to get into, like, mental illness and stuff later on, music keeps me sane. Music is, like, what honestly keeps me safe and alive. Not even, like, from a fan point of view, like, having a following is what makes me continue
but just
living.
the art itself, the
Exactly.
expression, and what it does for you psychologically and emotionally.
Exactly.
Healing.
Music's my escape, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, music's always been my number one passion, and that's why I'll always be a musician first, but right now I'm focusing on every other aspect of this business that's paying bills. You know what I mean?
That's another
and
big
I'm passionate about that shit too. Like, I'm passionate about producing and video editing and like, all of that shit. But, like, sitting down playing guitar or sitting down writing rhymes, rapping is not paying now.
It's not paying.
And I don't know, I'll always be doing that. Like, I know that when I met young Slipup, we were doing smaller shows, and he's moved on to, like, way bigger stuff, and I think that's so cool. But if I could do those shows, like, once a month for the rest of my life and then just run my own business, like, I would consider myself a successful musician. Some guys might consider that, like, the dead end, but it's all about having that connection with the audience.
100%.
If it's 10 people in the crowd that are there to hear what I got to say, then fuck it.
It's crazy you mentioned that too, because, like, everyone wants their dream to pay bills. You know what I mean? I'm sure you would love to be able to sit here in this room all day and do conversations and have your rent be paid, have your insurance be paid, and shit like that.
That would be
I would too.
incredible.
And, like, I make a decent amount of money selling beats, but at the end of the day, I need bills paid. I need my car paid. I need my rent paid. I need my phone paid. So I have a job right now in construction, and, like, I hate that shit. I hate it. But what am I going to do? Just sit in my room and make beats and get evicted? Have no car?
And have nowhere to make beats at the end of the day?
Like, you have to have a source of income until your dream is paying.
And people don't people
don't want to do that nowadays. They want to skip that part.
Yeah.
They want to skip the grind.
Mm-hmm. But it's about delayed gratification. My mom used to
Yeah.
always try to teach that to me, and I was like, "No,
I want
be gratified
that shit
right
now."
now." Yes.
Yeah.
But it's taken a while for me to learn that. But it's so true.
Yeah.
And if I may just going back to what you were saying, pretty much it was piggybacking off of what you were saying, Prod. But basically, like, having, even if it's that tiny amount of people who listen, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's really, to me, I think way back when we first started this podcast, we were like, what is our dream jobs? I don't know if you remember this episode.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like,
And I said, if I could just do like this, basically, I think I used Charlemagne the God as we love Charlemagne. Well, I do. But seriously though, if I could just interview people, like, that's just interview famous people. That's all I want to do. But
do you work right now?
yeah, I'm definitely,
Yeah, I'm sure you don't want to.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to. But I mean, like, even just like going back to that little audience. Even when you have a little audience, you appreciate it. Remember when we did Emily Ray's episode in front of the live audience? Actually,
yeah, that was insane.
that was crazy. It was like, what, 15 people, less than 20 people there, but it was like,
It felt
wow.
like 1,000.
And everybody was like, "Oh, we loved it. We appreciate it." And it's like crazy. So
Yeah.
that for me was probably my first like live show. You guys go
Yeah.
through that all the time. That's you know what I mean? This is what I do.
It's definitely more
I've
nerve
been on
wracking
small
live.
stages almost my whole life. I don't do like, big gigs, but like coffee shops, bars, open mic, stuff like that.
You got to build your way up,
Or
though.
like the loading dock, that was like a real gig, but it's a small venue.
Yeah.
For local shows. That's the kind of shit I love, though. It's more, well, I would imagine it's more intimate. I've never done, like, big old rooms.
True.
But,
But let's get into your life. Let's get into like where you came from, what you grew up, or how you grew up, all that stuff. And then we'll get into how you got into music.
Okay. So I grew up in a small beach town, population like, I think it's like 40,000. Small, but it's called San Clemente. It's halfway exactly
California?
in between. Yeah,
I know where that's at.
halfway in between San Diego and LA.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
exactly in the. I always say LA because people that aren't from California.
Yeah.
I'm from San Clemente. I'm like, where? I'm like, you know where San
LA.
Diego is? They're like, where? I'm like, LA.
What?
LA. You know LA? They're like, yeah, I know LA. So
That's where I'm from.
so
same thing living here. People, like, from outside of here, you have to just tell them you live in Salt Lake.
That's true.
So I was born into I guess you could call privileged. So my parents were together, a very religious family.
Wow, how professional.
Wow.
No, you're good. Very religious family. I was actually a really good kid. I was always very troubled. I always had a lot of problems in my head.
Okay.
And I was always like anti-drug. I was super religious up until later on in my life. And I never wanted to do anything bad. And I actually raced dirt bikes.
Yeah.
I raced motocross.
Okay, I was gonna ask the motor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I lived at a professional training facility called the Grindstone Compound. It's an amazing facility. They have amazing people there. And I kept getting hurt, man.
Yeah.
I broke my leg like 3 times in 1 year. I broke my...
The same leg?
Yeah, same leg this one. I can't feel the whole inside down. I got a bunch of concussions. I spent like a year of my life in the hospital. And that's when shit honestly started to change for me from like going to a good kid to a bad kid. Because I remember my dad was like anti-pain pills. My first couple times in the hospital with a broken leg, he was like, nah, you ain't getting any pain pills or anything. But the second time, or the third time, the last time, when I broke my leg, I fell off of a jump. And I landed on my leg, and my bone shot out.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I get in the hospital, and they're like, we're going to have to pull on your leg. Like, get the bone back in.
That's true.
And my dad's like, you ain't getting any pain medication for that. Fuck you mean I'm not getting
Right.
pain medication for that?
That's
honestly, like, the moment my life changed, I haven't even had pain pills up until this point. They shoot me up with ketamine.
Oh, horse tranquilizer.
Yeah. And I remember, dude, like, the second they pushed that plunger down, like, my eyes opened. I was like, holy shit. Like, this is what drugs are like?
Yeah.
And so I remember it was a long recovery. There was like 3 surgeries for that leg. I was on Norco. Or was it Norco? It was either Norco and oxycodone off and on. I was switching medications every day for like 9 months. By the time I got off them, I was like, damn, I don't even want to ride dirt bikes anymore. I kind of want to just get high.
Maybe motocross life is not for me.
And so I started getting into worse stuff down in California. My family wasn't really happy with what was going on in our town, so they're like, this is when I'm like 15, 16 now. They're like, all right, we're moving up to Utah. So I get here, and the drug stuff just got a lot worse.
There's no shortage of that here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad out here.
The thing that was crazy to me, though, is the fakeness of the pills up here.
The what now?
Pills.
The fakeness?
Yeah, like pressed pills.
I'm not aware of. Like,
You're not aware of that?
pressing their own oxys?
Like, they're pressing their own oxys, pressing their own Percocet, pressing their own Xanax.
Huh?
Like, no pills you get up here are safe. Well, I mean, pills aren't safe in general, but like when you're taking a prescription, you generally know what you're taking, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to get shit, and I was getting fake pills a lot.
Okay.
And then, so I'm going through this, and I'm going to school dealing with like mental illness and stuff that we can get into later, and I just I lose track of life. I start just like doing shit in school. I don't care about anything. And around this point is my family was putting me in and out of rehabs and mental institutions for this time. And I remember the last time I get out of a mental institution, me and Slipup were always around each other, like off and on. But because we had a lot of mutual friends.
Right.
We never really fucked with each other. Like, it's not like we didn't fuck with each other. We just didn't know each other. But we had mutual friends. And then I get out, and I see Slipup in the hallways. And I'd missed like 6 months of school. And he's like, hey, you're back. And I was like, you know who I am? He's like, yo, what's up, bro? So we dab each other up. And then after that point, me and Slipup just started being like really good friends. And I remember like when we really started connecting is there was this thing called MAP at school. And it was like it was a period, and you just like go around to classes and get help for shit. But I didn't give a fuck about school. So I was like, all right, Slipup, let's get the fuck out of here. So we'd go sit in his car, and he'd just freestyle.
Nice.
Yeah, like neither of us made music, but he was just always freestyling, bro. I was like,
That's what's up.
the fuck? And like, it got to the point when like, I don't know, I know you've dealt with some addiction, but the easiest way for me to get rid of an addiction has always been to replace it.
That's the easiest way, but it's not really a
Healthy way.
Yeah, it's like you're going backwards.
Yeah. I didn't realize at the time, though. So, like, at the time, I got off the Xans and the pain pills, but I started cutting myself, self-harm. That's what I got really into.
Okay.
Then when I got put in a mental institution for that, because it's not a healthy behavior. And they told me, they're like, you need an outlet. You need to find something that you can do. Like, dude, I don't know what the fuck I am going to do. And because I used to be riding dirt bikes for me. That's what I would do. That's how I dealt with my mental illness.
Right.
And so I got out of rehab or the mental hospital, and I was really into Suicide Boys at the time. And I was watching the No Jump.
I just found out about.
Yeah.
Shouts out.
Just found out about Suicide Boys.
Literally right before we went on air.
Yeah, so this was like 2016, 2017, and I was watching the No Jumper interview with Scrim and Ruby. And Scrim's talking about how he was addicted to shooting up heroin, and what helped him get off it kind of was he heard that T-Pain made the whole I Love a Stripper album on GarageBand, like mixing, mastering everything on GarageBand. And I remember at the time.
That's true?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't know.
And I remember at the time, my mom's into photography, and my dad had just bought her one of the new Macs, the big Mac. It was like Valentine's Day or something.
Wait, the ones with the backs? Or?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm sorry, Mom, but I snatched that shit.
Oh, sorry.
Shouts
out to his mom.
I didn't take it out of the house.
Oh, okay.
I saw it, and I just brought it down into the basement.
Oh, I thought you sold it for some crack or some shit.
And I set it up, and I downloaded.
That's where my mind went.
No, so I get GarageBand on it.
Okay.
And I start trying to record myself because I wanted to make music. I've always been super into music. When I was little, I always played like the violin and the viola, the cello, shit like that. I've always been really musical.
Nice. The violin is literally my absolute favorite.
Strings?
Yeah,
It's
strings.
my favorite.
And so I started recording myself. I was like, damn, I am dog shit. I hate the sound of my voice. Like, even right now, it's hard for me to hear myself, bro. And I know I'm going to cringe when I listen to this podcast.
Hey, what is like 60-something episodes? I still cringe at my voice.
Same.
You think you're going to get used to
I'm
it?
like,
So I remember.
sometimes I do, but then it's like,
You get used to how much you can't get used to how bad
That's
you
what it
hate
is.
hearing your voice.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to make beats. So I find this page that has samples, and I don't even know what like tempo is at this point.
Oh.
So I just download like a melody and a drum loop that are completely out of tempo, sound like dog shit together, and I start throwing them together. And it's like the worst beats you have ever heard in your entire life. Yeah. And I remember I started showing them to like Slipup and shit at school. And I hear him freestyling, and we come to the idea, we're like, hey, let's like fucking make music. So that day,
You want to make music together?
we go home
bro?
to my house, and we record. We record him on the I think it was like the 10 Toes challenge or some shit at the time.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I heard.
Yeah. And he's like, do you know how to mix? I was like, fuck yeah, I know how to mix.
Did you know how to mix? Okay.
So I do like the
you
shit.
make it.
I do it like the shittiest mix ever. There's like max reverb. I boost the low end EQ on his voice all the way up. I take out the highs so it sounds muffled. I'm like, then we just uploaded it straight to SoundCloud, and it was, oh dude, the mix was dog shit. I still have that song. I'm like, dude, what the fuck was I doing, Slipup? Why did you let me post this?
That's what I'm saying, though. You got to leave that stuff up because, like, you know,
Nah,
I'll never get rid of the first episodes of Convosaries, even though they're cringy
Very
as hell
cringy.
to me. But like, you got to have somewhere to
You
look.
should
back
redo
and
that
say,
song and make it better now.
Own
real.
it, fucking own it, own the cringe,
You
man.
should remake it and make it better.
Straight up.
No.
You heard it from
Nah.
me.
Said no.
It's not happening.
Nah, it
No,
was that
sir. The thing is, like, he had crazy vocal talent. So, like, the lyrics are fire, the flow's fire, but the fucking mix, dude, is so goddamn awful.
There's no way.
There's no way. So, yeah. I didn't delete them. Like, I still have them all. They're just not, like, available. You can't find them.
Got
Well,
you.
we get to hear it, right?
No.
Off air.
Off air.
No, I can't. I can't do it to myself. I
Damn
can't
it.
listen
I
to
really
it.
wanted to hear it. Like, my mind is everywhere now.
Same, no, for real.
But yeah, so you guys, so you start taking it, you upload to SoundCloud
Yeah.
these shitty beats with nice vocals
The vocals that I ruined. Yeah.
that you obviously ruined.
No, and then so I was making music with him, and then gradually I was just working on my own beats. I started uploading like them to YouTube, made a YouTube page. I started finding other artists, just like local artists. Everything I made at that point was pretty trash.
Yeah.
But like gradually you can kind of start hearing like a progression. Then we found a couple kids at my school, and I brought them over. And my beats were they were decent at this point.
Get some traction here.
Yeah, this is like my sophomore year.
Okay.
Sophomore, junior year. And yeah, it's decent. It's not good by any means, but like it's listenable at this point, my beats.
All right.
And so at this point we kind of have like we got like 5 people. So I'm like, fuck it, dude, like let's make like a record label type thing. So we come up with the name Inormality.
Inormality Records.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
And so we were honestly, all of us were there like a year and a half, 2 years. And shit at that point is when it really starts going good. Like the beats are getting fire, the mixing's getting fire. We got a couple artists we're doing collabs with, all of them in and out. And you can still find a lot of those songs up on the SoundCloud page. Not all major platforms, just SoundCloud. And then, honestly, like, whether due to personal issues or professional issues, people just kind of start falling off.
Right.
Because you've seen Slipup's promotion.
Yeah.
Like how serious he takes this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So the other people weren't really taking it seriously.
Not like that. I guess you could say musically, we were all making the same amount of music, but like for example, Slipup would come over, do a song, go home. He'd be promoting it. He'd be talking to me. He'd be writing a new song. He'd be hitting me up like, yo, send me like 10 more beats. I'll pick a couple out. I'll write to them. We'll get shit going. They'd come over, make a song that was decent. That was good.
Right.
And then they'd be like, all right, let's go party. Let's go do drugs.
You know what?
Then we wouldn't make a song for like a month, 2 months. And then they'd be like, all right, let's make another song. And by that time, Slipup would already have like 5 songs written.
Yeah.
He'd be like, yo, let's record all these. So we started building a vault for Slipup. Now in the vault, we have so much music, and it's like, none of them have any music anymore. So
That's how it happens, man. There's only a small percentage of people that are as serious as you guys. And
That's very true.
I see that a lot, and I'm not obviously not gonna out anybody, but I've had people come in here and it's like they just want to drink and get high and fuck around, and it's like this is a business. Like you don't like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying like that's what we do here. I'm saying like that's all they want to do, and I'm like this isn't a party. This is they want to come to the studio and fuck around. And it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's great. I don't judge. You gonna do whatever you want to do, but down here we work, and they get mad. They're like, "Well, we just want to, hang out and yada yada yada."
Slipup's honestly been like one of my best friends throughout my whole life, just because he's always been like a good influence on me. Because he doesn't do drugs, so like I've been in a like to a certain extent like once an addict, always an addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, like once you're an addict, like you kind of always have that mindset. You just have to find something healthy. Like I'm sure you guys are addicted to the show. You know what I mean? Like, you think about the show the whole time.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. At this point, yes.
But you'd also be, if you started doing drugs, you have that mindset, so you'd be more susceptible to do that. And, like, it got to the point when, like, I was always doing pills and stuff like that. I wouldn't really consider pills, like, a hard drug, but they're
That's
definitely...
the problem, is that most people won't.
No, but, like, everyone...
That's the actual issue, but...
Everyone wants to say weed's a gateway drug. Have you ever heard that?
Oh, Lord...
I'd say pills are the real gateway drug.
100%.
I hear, yeah.
Your story is the most common story of people who are on opiates, like addicted long term. Is like, well, it started with a major injury, and these are usually like it happens to doctors, to lawyers, to football players, to mostly athletes, but.
Have
like
you ever been shot up with
workers.
Dilaudid or morphine in a hospital?
No. Maybe? No. I don't do hospitals.
That shit is crazy, dude. You can't give that. You can't give that to a kid. And I had a lot of underlying mood disorders and depression. You can't make someone feel that. I don't want to glorify it, but you can't make someone feel that amazing temporarily.
And then that's it.
And then it's gone. You're gonna want that as soon as they shot me up with ketamine
you're
and
like
Dilaudid.
A kid too. You're like, where do I,
I was like,
and they're sending you home with opiates.
Yeah, and I have to take them every day so I don't throw up from pain in the night. Like, what did they honestly think was gonna happen?
You have to take them because you'll throw up just if you don't take them.
Yeah. Then by the time that you're supposed to just stop, get off, it's like
you're like,
what I don't want to.
It's also
I don't want
to
to do
sitting
this.
on your ass for how long injured?
9 months.
And it's the only sort of. It's not just the thing about opiates. Your brain it gets physically addicted to them. They're one of the only substances your body actually needs it once you're addicted. It's not like they say meth is the most addictive or whatever, but that's like a psychological thing with the chemical. With like people get sick if you just take their heroin away. You take their Loratabs, their Oxys, whatever it is.
Their Suboxone.
Yeah, and that's why they have things like Suboxone and what do you call it? The methadone clinics is to get people clean so they can do it safely. What was my point?
Good one.
You get to the point where you need this stuff, and the doctor's like, "Hey, no more."
Yeah.
And you're like, not only is it that, but it's also your only source of dopamine. Like you said, you've been sitting on your ass. It's the only thing that gives your brain.
You ain't getting sunlight, because dopamine comes from, if I'm not mistaken, it's food, sex, exercise, and I was like,
a lot of things that are good for your body, because it's your natural built-in reward system to train yourself to say, hey, that's good for you. It makes us feel good.
And like, I'm 14 at the time, so I'm not, and my leg's broken. I'm not having sex. I'm getting zero exercise. I'm on my ass all day.
Yeah.
And I can't eat without the promethazine because the Norco are making me so sick to my stomach. I'm getting zero dopamine aside from pills.
Other than from the medication, yeah.
Exactly.
So that's something that a lot of people don't realize is like with just about any drug you can be addicted to, that's the case, is that you get extra dopamine and serotonin, which is the other one. And
serotonin's more just like long-term happiness. It's not as much as pleasure.
But it like ruins these receptors, and then people get depressed when they get clean. Like you don't know how to be happy again.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how to just a little bit of happy, just a little bit of feel good. Not like ecstatic, like excited, like fabulous happy. But just a little bit of like, hey, I saw somebody I liked. It was nice to see them. A warmth in your inside,
There's none of that anymore.
Nothing. You're dead inside. And that's something that people overlook. It's like, well, can't you just get clean? You're choosing to be, you know what I mean? People judge, but
yeah.
All right, so
anyway,
wrap that back in to the normality thing.
We will.
Okay.
After this word from us.
Hey, everybody listening out there and also watching the video on YouTube and wherever you listen to the podcast audibly, we appreciate your support and you sticking with us every week. For now, it's been just over a year we've been doing the show.
Incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. And we've been working hard to pump out quality content. You know, we've had amazing guests on the show, and we've had extra content and a reaction channel now.
Yeah.
So if you want more Convo series in your life and you just can't get enough, you can get merch available now. All you have to do is contact us. How, Reg?
Oh, you can either hit us up on all social media. That's one way you could do it. Just DM us. Or if you want to just email us, you can email us at convoseries@gmail.com. You want to tell them about Vision Media, the parent company.
You can go to Vision Media. That's Vision, Vizion. Media, how you think it's spelled, LLC.com.
.com.
And you can reach us there. I think it's got a direct way to contact us just right through the website. So it's pretty simple. All the merch is made to order, and now for the first time ever, we have Vision Media hats in black and blue. So get those today and get all of your Convo Series merch as well.
They're made to order.
They are made to order, so make sure that you put your orders in early so we can get them to you in a timely manner. It is quality merch, so hit us up.
Hit us up.
And smash that like and all that stuff.
And again, we appreciate all the listens and your support. This is just another way to support us.
You guys keep us going. And if you want, a way to show people that you support or that you listen to Convo Series, that you support Vision Media, there it is. So let us know, contact us and get your merch ordered today.
Thank you again.
Thank you a bunch of times.
Thank you more than him.
So many times.
More than him.
More than him.
Like to infinity and beyond.
But mine is that times 2.
You can't. No, I said beyond.
+1.
That's beyond.
So I was thinking, I was on the phone with that guy and he was like, you have a voice for radio. You should be on radio. And I was thinking about maybe we should do a podcast or
Yeah, a lot of people these days are talking about starting a podcast, but a lot of people never do.
Yeah. Where do you even get started?
Well, dude, I got a cure for that.
Folks at home, does this sound like a conversation you've ever had?
Does it? Seriously.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation.
A lot of people have. And you know what? The thing it really comes down to is just doing it. And if you've ever had this thought or this conversation, like so many people who are now podcasters, don't be afraid to take that step. You can contact us right now. And how can they do that?
Well, you can just go to our website or follow us on any social media at Vision Media LLC. If you want to go to the website, visionmediallc.com. But either way, you should check us out, see what we are doing, because we do a plethora of things if you're thinking about doing anything.
We do.
Especially people,
the things.
the local people here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're local, we do offer studio time in-house. You can record here. If you're not local and you would like to send us footage accompanied by sound files and anything that you might need, you can even start on an iPhone. Send us the files and we will handle post-production and even distribution at probably the best price.
At absolutely the best price. Absolutely the best price.
And you
guys.
heard it here first.
You heard it here first. No, seriously, all you have to do is record and send us your files. We do the editing however you want. We create your intro song. We do the distributing, all for one price. It's the best price you're gonna find. So it only makes sense to check us out.
It only makes sense. And
back to your regularly scheduled whatever. Hey everybody, we're back. We appreciate you listening.
welcome back.
Do whatever we said to do. Like all that stuff. Merch.
Purchase the merch, man.
Buy the merch.
Buy their merch.
We'll have trying to get a link set up to an actual place where you can go to buy it. So,
yes, and we have Patreon, so check that out.
But
guys.
right now, you just gotta DM us wherever you follow us, or email us,
exactly.
whatever it is.
Let's get back into it with Prod.Trotter here.
Right, let's do it.
So can we talk about mental illness? You said we were going to talk about that.
Yeah.
You said you had mood swings.
Yeah, I've always been. It's hard for me exactly to describe what exactly the fuck is wrong with me, because I've been through so many different psychiatrists and psychologists. I've heard borderline personality disorder. I've heard schizophrenic. I've heard bipolar. I've heard major depressive. I've heard social anxiety. I've heard everything.
Right.
So it's like no one really knows what the fuck is wrong with me. It's like I've just always had a lot of problems. Like I remember from a young age, walking into school or church, throwing up, worried what people were gonna think about me. And it just kind of it definitely just graduated. I remember having suicidal thoughts for the first time in my elementary school. I was young when shit started going bad, and it was just like I never really felt a purpose for life, if that makes any sense, until I started racing dirt bikes. And then that transferred into drug use, into self-harm, into more drug use, into music. So it's like I've always just struggled with my head. I've always felt like something is wrong. If that makes any sense, I've always felt like I'm not okay where I'm at. Like I felt like I'm not meant to be in this reality. If that makes any sense. Okay. I don't know if I sound like a fucking crazy person right now.
No, I wouldn't say you sound like a crazy person, but it's very interesting to hear that perspective.
Yeah, and it definitely got worse. Not with the drug use specifically, but definitely with the psychedelics. Psychedelics definitely did not help me.
Yeah, that's something that like is not good for mental illness. And as like a proponent or an advocate of like certain psychedelics for medical use, I also think that they're not for everybody.
No.
And a lot of advocates won't tell you that.
Right.
No, because I remember I have some friends that used to deal with like similar problems with me, and they started doing like mushrooms heavily, stuff like that, and they're like, bro, it cured me. Like, it's gone. I feel better. I understand life. And, like, as a kid that struggles so much, that can't get out of bed in the morning, that can't go to school
Sounds
like
nice.
A normal person. That sounds nice. He's like, yeah, bro, it's good. So I start doing them. Shit's just getting worse and worse. I kind of start, I guess you could say, losing touch with reality in a way.
I can see that.
I start just being in my head all day. Like, not... are you familiar with mindfulness?
As in, like,
being
mindful?
As in, like, the act of being present in the current moment.
Yeah. Okay.
It got to the point when it was, like, the opposite of that. Like, I was never fully here. I was somewhere else. I was in my head. So I would definitely say be careful when it comes to psychedelics. They can do a lot of good for people.
Especially if you have a history or some kind of underlying mental, I don't want to say, I'd say condition. I don't want to say like disability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think everybody has different wiring in their brain.
Absolutely.
And I think that some people's differences are a little bit more dramatic, and so we try to put a label on that and call that a certain mental illness. And some people do like exhibit the same chemical imbalances maybe, but a lot of shit with like giving people drugs for psychiatric reasons is like guesswork, and it's hit or miss. And it's because I grew up with that life too, like being in and out of different doctors' offices, and they say, well, they never say, this is what you have, take this, it'll clear it up. They say, hey, let's try this. It sounds like you might have this, or this. And then it doesn't work, or it fucks you up worse, and you go, that wasn't it, doc. And they say, okay, well, try this. And
I have been on so many psychiatric medications that you don't even know. And it's always the same thing. We'll try this. It takes about 2 months to kick in. Come back in 6 weeks. We'll see how you're feeling. And it gets worse. And then they're like, okay, let's try something else. They don't want to normalize like the go home, try meditation, sleep on a normal schedule, get some exercise, get some sunlight, do something that makes you happy.
They don't make money from that.
Nope. Exactly. Pharmacies don't make money from that. When in reality, that's what finally helped me get to a point where I'm stable. Is I sleep normal hours, 8 hours a day. I try to be outside at least an hour. I'll hit the gym. I'll eat 3 meals a day, and I'll do music because it makes me happy. That worked 100 times better than any medication that they ever put me on, ever, exponentially.
And that's where I'm saying, like, some people, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, RJ, but some people have a legitimate certain chemical imbalance that you can fix by giving them that chemical to take orally in the morning or in the evening. But for most people, it's a mixture of things. Right. And
I'm not
what
saying
puts you on track the most is, that's what I'm trying to, like, I don't want to take away from people who do need medication.
Yeah, if you have medication, take it. If you have a medication that works, take it on a normal schedule, same time every day like you're supposed to.
But a lot of people, and doctors won't tell you, try this first. You need to live a healthy lifestyle first, and then decide if you're depressed.
I remember the last psychiatrist that prescribed me medication was a good-ass guy. He changed my life, honestly. And what he told me is he's like, think about medication like a scale, all right? I was like, okay. He's like, put it on a scale of 100. He said, sleep, exercise, and eating right are going to be 95% of what helps you. He said, think of medication as the last 10 to 5%. Only use it for that little bit. He said, if you're not doing these other things, there is 0 point in taking medication because you don't have the basics of life down.
And that's why celebrities can have more access, I want to say, like, because they can pay like celebrity doctors who make enough money to tell you the truth and still make money.
I actually just found out about corporate doctors. This is an actual thing. Like a corporate doctor is like separate from like a family, practice doctor. Okay. So some corporates pay these doctors to go, some corporations pay these doctors specifically to get physicals on their like high clients or whatever, maybe like the CEO, someone who's important. And so Damon John, I don't know if you guys know him, shouts out to him, the creator of Fubu, and also he's on Shark Tank. Fubu, the clothing brand.
Oh, okay, okay.
And he's on Shark Tank. I just finished his book, by the way. One of his books, nice. Rise and Grind. It's really good. But he was talking about these doctors and how he had to go see a doctor. Now, he would get a physical every, I think, 3 to 6 months or something like that from his doctor. But for some reason, the corporation, when he got big or something, just wanted him to go see the corporate doctor. Went and saw the corporate doctor, and they found a lump in his throat. And he had just gone to see his doctor a couple weeks prior. And, like, they did the same examination, whatever. But they went and found, like, that in his throat. And then, like, that's how he found it. But, no, I wanted to say that because you had a really good doctor to just, like, break it down like that to you. Because, like you said, you never had anybody break it down to you like that.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
And so it was like the 95%. It was basically exercising, eating right, sleep, and then you found your muse.
Yeah.
Music.
Doing something you enjoy, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Even if it's just like going on a walk, drawing a picture,
Mm-hmm.
just something that that you enjoy doing.
And for you, that was
playing a video game,
creating beats, right?
Yeah.
And then so we got into Enormality Records. I want to kind of go back to that too. So at this point, how do we get to Enormality Records? You guys, you said earlier that you started a group with about 4 or 5 other people.
Yeah.
They started taking it not as seriously as you. That's my opinion.
Yes.
To me, it sounds like they didn't.
Well,
take
not
it
even
seriously.
necessarily me, because I was just the producer. It didn't really matter to
You-
me. I was
plural,
I was making beats, sending them out.
Okay.
Whatever happened. Because I was sending beats to everyone. I was spamming everyone on my Instagram, so I wasn't really expecting much from people at this time.
So how do we take it from a hobby to, all right, let's start really promoting like this? Because Slipup promotes like nobody's business.
It was honestly Slipup's idea, 100%. He gets all the credit for that. It wasn't my idea. I was just behind the scenes, and then he comes to me. He's like, "Yo, I want to start taking it serious." He starts doing his promotion like he is. No one else is really doing it. And at the time, like the way it started is, I would say like Slipup didn't necessarily have like the how do I say natural rap ability like some of these kids had. So like they could just rap, you know what I mean? But then Slipup was working, and a lot of these kids didn't care.
Right.
So they were just like staying stagnant, you know what I mean? And Slipup was just like progressing.
Exactly.
Then it
He
got to
worked for it.
Yeah,
Worked for
he
that
worked
shit.
for it. He didn't just get it, you know what I mean? He grinded hard. And it got to the point when like his music was a lot better because of how hard he was trying, and it was getting better and better and better. And so like he was getting fed up with the fact that even me included, me and all these guys weren't putting in the same effort that he was. And I can see it from his point of view. That'd be frustrating as shit. If RJ was showing up drunk to the studio when you guys had some shit, you know what I mean? No,
That's different. We used to drink a lot
Yeah,
more
we used to drink on the show.
no, but like
for the show.
finding our way, but
he was getting fed up with me too because I was still deep in addiction at this point. And he'd come over ready to record. He'd have all his songs ready, and I'd be like head down to sleep on my desk, passed out. And he'd be like, "Really? We're not recording today?" And then I start bringing everyone over for these like group studio sessions. He's sitting on the couch ready to record and just having conversations. I was just like, I remember sitting in my bed, and I was up for a couple days at the time. I was like, dude, I'm not fucking okay right now. Like, this is where my life has taken me. Like, a lot of these people aren't real friends to me. They don't care about where I'm going. They're just trying to have a good time. And Slipup was my best friend. He was a good friend. He was always telling me, he's like, you shouldn't do that shit, bro. Like, let's just make music today. So at that point, that was the point when I was kind of like, all right, you know what? Slipup's my main priority. He's making the best music. He's putting in effort. He cares about me as a person, even if we're not making music. And so at that point, I started fucking with him. And then the point it like really switched when Enormality kind of fell apart. Not fell apart, but it became just me and Slipup, was when I moved to Arizona. And he was the only one that stayed in contact with me. As soon as I moved and people didn't have access to my studio anymore, and I couldn't record for them, and I wasn't doing drugs with them,
out of sight, out of mind.
they stopped hitting me up. Slipup was the only one that hit me up, and then we flew him down. We just flew him down to my apartment down there, and I was in school at the time, so I had this multi-million-dollar studio, crazy studio, and we were just grinding in
You had
it.
access to the school studio?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so
That
cool.
is
whenever
what's
I
up.
wanted. So we were just grinding in there. That's where we made Lights Out and shit, and. That's kind of how it fell apart. Now I'm back up in Utah for a little bit. I'm going back to Arizona to finish up school. Then I'm going to LA, and you see Slipup with these big moves. He has these shows coming up that are crazy, big headliners.
Shout out to Slipup. He
Shout
just had a
out,
show
man.
out here in Salt
Yeah.
Lake City too.
We're doing crazy features. The beats are crazier. The songs are crazy. The music's just great in general, in my opinion. And it's like
absolutely.
we honestly probably wouldn't be at this point if everyone stayed in normality. You know what I mean? I'd probably be a junkie in my desk doing coke, making mediocre music. And let's be real, Slipup probably would have moved on and found a new producer and engineer that were taking it as serious as he was. So I obviously missed the old days a little bit. It's hard not to be reminiscent because we did have a lot of good times in the studio. where everyone was in there putting in creative input, making group songs. That was a good ass time.
And that's some of the best shit ever.
Yeah, but part of maturing is you have to look back and be like, that wasn't good for me. That wasn't what I needed. I need to move on and do my own thing. It's like breaking up with a girlfriend almost. Like, it stings. It's like, damn.
But sometimes you just both need to move on.
Yeah. Are you going to stay unhappy, or are you just going to be happy?
Yeah.
And so it just got to that point. And I can't say that I'm not happy with where we're at now. I love what we're doing. It's crazy.
I'm happy to see where y'all have gone in the year since I met you guys doing these little local shows. You guys have just, like, taken off, and you're doing big shit now. It's crazy to see. It's super awesome, man.
And I couldn't be more grateful, honestly, the way my life has turned out. Like, my past, like, in the time, the addictions and the self-harm issues and the wanting to kill myself was so rough, but I would do it all again. It made me who I am today. I wouldn't appreciate the way my life was right now if I didn't go through all that.
Kind of gave you a little bit of direction in,
100%.
in a dark way.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's good, though. It's good to know that, because damn, dude. Like, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
And, like, you just kind of took me on a journey this whole freaking episode.
A lot of people don't know that about me. The thing is, I still deal with a lot of issues. Like, mental illness, to anyone out there dealing with it, it's a constant struggle. You just can't give up. You know what I mean? Like, there's still days I can't get out of bed. I have panic attacks. Like, coming over here, I was even freaking out. I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. What am I going to do? But you just got to go. Like, you can't live your life in fear. You're going to miss every opportunity that you can take.
I feel that, because I'm
so true.
Like, I wouldn't consider myself scared of a lot of things, but I'm scared of everything.
Yeah, no,
You know
I
what
feel
I mean?
exactly
Like,
what you mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Like, I got balls when it comes, like, doing shit, but, like talking to people, meeting people, going just to the store sometimes by yourself, you're just like, fuck, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like more anxiety.
You gotta get out there, dude.
I got
I
a
used
lot
to
of
go to the
anxiety.
movies by myself, go to eat.
Once
by
I'm
myself.
out
It's
doing it,
dope.
I'm happy. I'm like,
It's
oh,
just
let me
getting
roll
there.
the windows down. Let me get some music going. You know, whatever it is.
You just got to get to that point.
I'll be flexing in the store, whatever it is. But, like, just when I'm sitting here by myself, like, the thought of, like, not having somebody next to me to, like, you know. It's, like, natural when there's somebody with you to go leave and go do something.
Yeah.
But then, and maybe it's, like, a codependency issue or something. I don't know. But then when you're alone, you're like, I don't have that person to, like, just, like, we're going to naturally leave. Like, I'm just going to sit here and procrastinate and think about how much I don't want to be out in public right now. And overthink it and overthink. Anyway, not to go too far, but, you know, I felt that.
But it's good to know that you made it, you know.
Like,
I don't want to say on the other side, but
yeah.
you're making it through.
We're walking across the line right now.
Hey, man, we're making it through. We all are.
We're weaving back and forth a little bit.
Hey, sometimes you trip and fall, or stumble a little bit. But, you know, just the important thing is to keep freaking walking, man.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good stuff.
And, like, I part of, like, the anormality thing with my fans is that anormality is, like, it's not a real word, by the way. People always tell me that, and they're like, you know, normal's not a real word, right? Yes, I know normal's not a real
I like
word.
it too. It works. It works.
That was just the first time I heard anormality. That's my shit.
I know. I was like, what did she just say?
But, like, the idea for me behind it, at least when I put my input in, was like, be okay with being like a freak. You know, not necessarily a freak, but like, you're different. It's cool.
Yeah, you do.
Like, we kind of wanted it to be like a family. Like, all our fans and everyone that's around us, like, we care about everyone. And, like, me especially, not saying that Slipup doesn't, but, like, my point of view is, like, I want everyone to feel like I'm someone that they can talk to their issues about. Because growing up in a religious family, my family was always there for me, don't get me wrong. Like, if I wanted to talk to them, they would have been there for me. But they were religious. They had more or less, my mom especially had a perfect life. She never struggled with addiction, mental illness, stuff like that. So it was like, I didn't know how to come to my family and be like, Dad, I'm shaking if I don't have my cocaine every day. Like, Dad,
Right.
I can't stop cutting myself at night. Dad, I want to die. I didn't know how to say things like that. So it's like, I always wanted people to feel like, and me, if they didn't have someone, they could find someone that related to their issues.
Right. Well, dang, man. If you guys need anybody to
DM me on Instagram. I got you.
But seriously, if you want to just if music is your way to like escape, I swear to you, listen to his stuff. Listen to Young Slipup stuff. Yo, you guys, if you haven't heard the Young Slipup episode, go back and listen to that. But I already told you. I talked about your beats and everything too. Just like y'all's combination, you could tell that y'all have been working together for a long time. You could tell.
At the very start, he was the first person I recorded aside from myself.
Yeah.
Everything we learned together.
Nice.
Which was amazing.
You could tell definitely through the music that you guys have that relationship.
Yeah.
So if you guys heal through music, go listen to that stuff. Where can they find you guys? Do you have anything to plug? Any of that? This is your time to shine. Right here.
Oh, my bad. Prod.Trotter on Instagram. Enormality Records on Instagram. Prod.Trotter on all socials. Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, everything. You can find me.
You guys have anything coming up?
We got a show, the Summer Festival with Lil Xan and St. George coming up.
Hey, let's go.
Headlighting.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
I got a beat tape coming out on the way.
Okay.
And you can check. Just be on the lookout for more music on all platforms. Check out Young Slipup or my page for future release dates and so forth.
There it is.
Damn, you heard it here, folks.
You did.
Thank you guys for having me. I really
We appreciate
my gosh,
you, man.
Thank you for coming. It's been such just a good episode.
It has.
Conversation. So thank you for that. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You can find me at The Chosen One on Instagram, and you know how to spell it by now. What? And you also know how to spell that on TikTok. And if you don't, it's UHH_what0. Follow our parent company, Vision Media, with a Z, Vizion Media, how you think it's spelled, LLC, on everything. Vision Media 1 on Facebook, so it won't let me change it. And we have a lot of cool buttons that you can see now right here on screen. So if you're not watching, you're gonna want to see this. Jump right over to YouTube. And if you only listen to the audio version of the podcast, jump over to YouTube anyway and give us a subscribe, because we're on the road to 100. And thank you so much.
Yeah, we are. Thank you for saying that. We are on the road to 100 on YouTube. That can be found at Convo Series Podcast. We are on all social medias, Convo Series. Just look that up. That's CONVOSARIES.
Google it.
We appreciate it. Yeah, Google us. We're a whole thing.
But we're also, you can search us on everything. Even
Definitely.
TikTok.
And make sure you go follow us everywhere on everything. We also have a Patreon, you guys. You can join for as little as $1 or join up to, I think it was $50.
Yeah,
and you get
the
free
$50
merch.
tier gives you a free piece of merch. So
Free piece of merch. And I guarantee it'll be good.
among other things. That's just an add-on.
Yeah.
So.
That's just an add-on. But go follow us on Patreon. We appreciate you guys. I have been RJ, a.k.a. Reg Travels, on all social media. Go find me. We want to thank you again, Prod.Trotter.
Thank you guys for having me.
Seriously,
it was amazing.
man.
Thank you, man. And until next time, everyone out there listening, we love the shit out of you. And until
Really
next
do.
time, peace.
Inner Melody Records.
Yeah. Yo, Trotter.